Okay, good morning, everyone. Today is March 8th. This is our weekly county commissioner meeting. This time I would please ask everyone to rise and say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Dave. So do we have any additions to the agenda?
I don't know of any.
I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
That we approve the agenda for March 8th.
I'll second that.
Moved and second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll go right on into claims. Casey, come on up. Good morning.
Good morning.
Everyone good with the claim?
You see there's a $7,500 pause contribution that is listed under ICRIM in the general fund. I think that must be miscoded.
Okay, I will check into that.
Oh, I will ask Cindy about that one. We refunded a CUP fee. I was curious as to why. I'll ask Cindy on that one. I think that was it. I make myself notes, so therefore I have to scroll through the whole thing.
That's okay.
That's what I need to do. We have two board orders.
2 board orders and 2 junior college.
And then the skid steer, we're taking that out of PILT for just this year?
The what?
Or, okay, so it'll be in their budget next year.
That's correct.
Perfect. All right, that was all I had.
And we had made an error. We had paid Western Financial, and the payment should have gone directly to Summit. So they refunded us, we put it back in that fund, and then we had to spend it back out. So if you recall, we've already paid
Yeah,
that,
I thought,
but we paid it to Western Financial or Western
yeah,
State Equipment, and we have received that money back, and now we're making the payment to the actual leasing agency.
perfect.
Any more questions?
No.
I entertain a motion to approve the claims of board orders and 2 junior college.
I'll make a motion that we approve the claims, board orders, and 2 junior college tuitions.
Second.
Moved and second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Did you have one for all of them?
Oh, I'll have to bring it back up. I thought it was in my file, but I left it on my desk.
The very
Just
last.
bring it back whenever and we'll, they're fine.
The main page.
I can print it, but yeah.
So I'll be right back with it.
And I don't know if you guys saw this weekend, but, or maybe it was Friday, Microsoft got hacked on their servers, and I immediately sent the notice to Jeremy, and he's gone in and back protected ours here. We do have servers that are Microsoft servers. I got hacked through the health district, and they're working on it down at that end. But all I did was send out all these meetings that aren't real, all these different people to respond back. It's through your calendar, you know how that works. So they're in the process of trying to clean that up, get everybody straight again. But, just so you know, Microsoft is, all their servers are in jeopardy. So they're working on it.
It's still the same hack from the last time that nobody could figure out how to solve.
I don't know, they're blaming this one on the Chinese this time, it's not the Russians, but I don't know how they know that. Just so everybody's aware.
I got a weird email that I sent to Jeremy too, that it said we were supposed to be updating or something or other, so just in case you guys get that one, it was a scam. So it was saying that my Outlook wasn't gonna work unless I was updated. And
You'll get lots of those throughout the year, just send them to Jeremy so he knows. Yep. Okay, since we got two things listed for the same time, I'm gonna go ahead and go on down to our agenda. The next item is an action item. Discussion decision on the exclusive agreement for collection, disposal of solid waste and recycled materials with Lakeshore. And Doug, this is more like an amendment to the original contract, right?
That's my understanding, Mr. Chairman.
And why are we doing this? They requested this?
We have one, but they wanted an additional one. I don't know if Scott wanted.
Yes, it's for the, it's actually kind of the operation of the recycle center. That's what it is.
So because we changed the recycling, they're asking for a 5 more year extension on the whole contract?
That's my understanding. I thought Gabe had already explained this guy's.
And Brian, have you had a chance to look at this?
Yeah.
You're okay with it?
Yeah, he's reviewed it. Yeah.
I remember having that discussion during the recycling stuff. I don't know that we'd ever agreed on anything, but I know that they were requesting it.
It's a lengthy contract written by them. Yeah, I was gonna say, it doesn't look like anything, a lot of stuff changed except for the amendment they showed us, but then there was a referral to a section 5 that they didn't have in that amendment. Yeah.
Which is all
That
the
was- what was that?
Which is all the fees.
Right, it was the fees for residential. Yeah. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that, but we didn't get that portion of it. Were there any red flags? Yeah, they were.
Hey, Scott,
Good morning.
come on in. We're just talking about this amendment now. This
Okay.
was an agreement because we changed recycling, is that correct? You guys wanted another 5 year extension?
Yeah, and so there was, two, there was two contracts apparently. Didn't know that. Both contracts read very similarly. They both cover the hauling and the transfer station and recycling. There's verbiage in both of them. So this is just the other one with the same verbiage that we added to the first one, if that makes sense.
So then are both of these other contracts still enforced, or is one of them going away?
Technically, they'd both still be enforced. Now, if you guys would like, we can redo it so that we have one.
Why do we have two contracts? That makes no sense.
Right.
No, I thought this contract would replace the previous contract.
That's what usually happens.
Right. We're just gonna have.
There was two contracts. So all we did was amend one of them. One was for hauling. One was for the transfer station and the recycling. And then the other one was for hauling within the county. In other words, the subscription people, the people that subscribe to our service.
And this is an amendment to which one of those?
The hauling. The hauling
The long
within the county. What's that?
It covers the recycle center, the
That's-
operation of it too.
Yeah, both contracts were in place. And like I said, there's verbiage in both of them. But there's verbiage in this one that covers the recycling and the transfer station. But the other one didn't have verbiage for hauling, if that makes sense.
And that was a long haul to.
Well, it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, I
No,
understand
it does
that,
not
but-
make sense.
But what I'm thinking of, unless you guys are in a big hurry, we should let's kick this one back and put them all together into one, so we all both know which contract we're under. I know that sounds like a lot of work.
No, it's fine. I think in the long run, it's better for LA County and Lakeshore to have one contract rather than two. And when we went through the exercise last year, we pulled the one contract, not realizing that there was a second contract in there. My controller found it. So the first contract that we signed didn't have any verbiage for the subscription of hauling within the county. In other words, the people that we service, the residents.
Didn't we have to do something, Scott, too, when Tony Nichols decided to do the woody biomass? And you guys weren't too concerned about that, but there was other issues, him hauling construction or something.
There was issues with that. That was prior to me. And what I know to that is that within the contract, we only have an MSW contract, mainstream waste. So Meckel wouldn't be able to haul household garbage or MSW or anything like that, but he is allowed to haul,
Woody biomass,
yeah,
or anything.
Construction debris.
construction
Yeah,
debris.
That's a big chunk of his business.
And that was prior to me, the leadership prior to me that was at Lakeshore thought that he was in violation of the contract. In reality, he was not. And you know, that was an issue separate from, I guess it involved the county a little bit, but really it was an issue between Lakeshore and trying to tell Knuckle that he couldn't, which wasn't correct.
So what if he takes a dumpster to a public event,
Who's that?
Meckel?
You can't do that.
So in this contract that we received, it talks about year 1 and 2. They both have the figures in them, but year 3 through 6, it says see section 5B. We don't have section 5B.
3 through 6. So you're talking about the recycling?
Years 3 through 6. So it's recycling, MRF operations, long haul per ton, transfer stations, operations per ton. That's the 3 things that are addressed in this.
Is right here, stuff she's talking about, this 3 through 6 has a schedule or something that we don't have, that Claire, gives us.
Oh, that's
figures.
because it's on the first one.
So that's what I'm thinking, Scott, is for clarity, we need to put all this together.
That's fine.
And I'm sure Brian could help you with it, if you need help.
I'll just have our legal department combine the 2 contracts. We'll just put them both together. That way the verbiage is right, and we'll get the schedule from the other one and put it on here. And basically what the schedule was saying in the first contract that we signed was that we're at 11.5, 3 through, and then you can see these years 3 through 6 just revert back to, looking for,
Is it cost of living or
yes, the
consumer price
CPI?
index? CPI?
yes, that's it, yeah. The
And
index,
I remember something about that, but
yeah,
that's
the
too far back.
national index is what we go on.
And it's like 1.3, 1.5%.
If it's anything over 3, we have to come here and get a commissioner approval for it. Anything under that automatically goes in, but I do come and say,
Yeah,
commissioners, for your information,
just to let us know.
we're at 1.7 for this year. And then we let Doug and Gabe know what the increase is so that they are able to budget for the year. And we have that information to them. We go off of June 1's index. So that usually comes out around the 10th of June for that index. And that's the index we use going into the next year.
So do both of these contracts have the same expiration date?
Yes.
Is it 23?
28.
I thought we did it in 13 and it was a 10-year contract.
Right, and then last year, that contract that we signed, the extension,
5 more years.
took us 5 more years, which is what this is doing for this contract.
Okay.
So once we combine these, we'll combine these to show a 1 extension through 28.
And then Scott, I wanted to ask you too, because I don't remember, where did the $11,500 figure come from for the recycling part? Was that just that I don't remember ever talking about, since we're all new up there in the whole
Yeah.
different facility, where'd that figure come from?
Well, we were at 74, I believe, and some change. And now that we're manning the facility with an employee there 5 days a week, all day long, that's to cover those wages and the extra work that's happening there.
Okay, so I'm gonna make the motion and that we table this for further review and you can get back to us when you get the contract built.
Let's set it up for next month, like a month from today.
Okay, whatever Doug can get on his agenda, and I'll put that in my motion. Oh, it's snowing again.
Oh, gee,
It's fake snow.
so happy.
It is fake snow.
Fake snow?
It's fake.
I'll second that.
Eater snow. It eats the other snow.
Yes, I do like that snow too.
Oh, well, it's snow.
I don't want it to go away too fast, but I'd really like it to go away.
We do April 12th, Mr. Chairman.
That give you enough time?
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll amend my motion to table this until April 12th. In the meantime, you can work with Scott Oki and Brian Oki, and what you get, he'll have to review it before it gets to us. But let's combine it and make this so it's so much easier for all of us. There's no gray areas for people to get confused on.
yeah,
That work for you?
worked perfect. I was kind of hoping that was the direction you guys would want to go.
Good.
You second?
Yeah, I'll second that for sure.
Okay, moved to second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we'll see April.
Perfect.
Okay,
Look forward to it.
thank you.
I should have that within about a week or less.
Do you have a card?
Do I have a card? I did not bring a card. I was in a hurry.
Here's a piece of scratch if you
I
want
might have
to.
one up here with me.
With him on it?
Well, no, you want.
Here,
Oh, with mine?
well, I might have one too.
No.
I don't, Scott. I didn't keep your.
Everybody just puts me on
I
my
put
phone.
everything electronically into my phone.
What's your email?
I don't keep a card.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna move on to agenda where you guys are figuring it all out. The next item is a presentation from facility manager Scott Klingon. This is not an action item. Yeah,
You too. Thank you.
there's like lots of Scotts and lots of Brians in the world now. We have to be careful.
Right.
Okay, kind of where, we're trying to clean up the rest of the snow and stuff around here as it melts. Skid steer's been really handy with that, especially last week in the 50s. As soon as it got slushy, trying to keep it scraped off and stuff. Our only concern is now it's kind of melting, where there's along the curbs and stuff and running across and melting at night and stuff. But other than that, we did have a couple slips this year. A couple people went down and things, but I don't know. I think it's going pretty good. I think I talked with Dave. We might look at seeing if we could have some type of sanding capability of our own. Maybe just an older truck with one of the sanding boxes in it. I did find an attachment to go on the front of the skid steer, about $1,800. It'll hold about 1,350 pounds of sand. We would just have to get with Jeff and stockpile some of the road mix sand here, keep it covered and stuff. Kind of depending on what goes on with the houses and stuff, but right behind our place, there's kind of a gardener shed up there. We thought about taking that out, flattening that out, and that could be a spot we could, stockpile some of the sand and keep it covered and things. But
Scott, are you worried about people tracking the sand into our work facility?
we do. I mean, the stuff that doesn't have the gravel that does, it gets tracked in badly. And that's one of the things that janitorial's got to make sure that they get it mopped and cleaned up every night and stuff. And, the carpets are getting vacuumed and things, but it does, it tracks in. I mean, you'll see by that end of the day, you'll see the white on the floors and stuff, and you actually see the granules. So it does get tracked in. But it's just kind of one of the necessary evils, to kind of keep people safe and things.
You think you have better luck with the sand versus just putting more salt on the ice?
Well, let's see, what did Jeff tell me? It's like it has the sand has the ice melt in it, but the concentration's a lot less than just going out and what we throw out and stuff. So it's a little lower concentration of that of it. So it's I don't think quite so much would be coming in. You'll probably track, still probably track, but what we get is it's not the sidewalk, it's where people got to get out of their cars and step out there and step over the curb stops and stuff. It's one of the hard areas. We'd like to try to get in that's before 7 o'clock when the early arrivals come, and get some get it scraped down and then get some of that on top of it, because that's where our two falls happened. Getting out of a vehicle, and one was stepping over the curb going to their vehicle and stuff. So we didn't really have any trouble with the front. We had across the road, which is another issue that we need to discuss. But our main problem we're having keeping people safe is this area right along here and stuff. Just some way because we can't go out and throw out, this by hand or the ice melt. We need something with some traction to it too and stuff.
Can the skid steer go down the sidewalks?
It can't quite go down. Well, that's another thing I was thinking, because I was looking at coming over. I've seen some of the curb stops kind of got hit because he tried straddling it and going down it, because it kind of got burned up on top, and is moving them out wide enough that we could run the skid steer down it, move it out another foot or so. Thing is, we still got, when the county comes through and plows, it kind of berms up along there, and then we try to clean it up. And then, but we still kind of need something to give them some traction when they get out of their vehicles. We've gone at times this year and just by hand thrown it in between the vehicles so people don't slip when they, come out and try to get in their vehicles in the evenings and stuff.
What you won't be able to do with a skid steer.
No, but like I say, if we,
If there's not vehicles there.
we want to get in before the 7 o'clock arrivals and get something down so when they get here and get out and stuff. And then they sit there all day and the sun can't get to it, or anything. So it's something we kind of try to hit in the mornings before they arrive.
I kind of like your idea of moving the bumpers out
Mm-hmm.
another foot so you can do that sidewalk with the skid steer.
Yeah. And
I also like your idea of the front mounted spreader sander.
yeah. And I printed off what I found. I can send that to you and kind of look at what I'm looking at. And like I say, just something just to provide a little better safety. I mean, it is winter. Individuals got to realize when they step out or when they come out, they've got to take some responsibility. They got to put cleats on if they don't feel comfortable with their shoes. They have a little responsibility for it, but I'd like to try and make it as safe as possible for them.
Do you have this in your budget now?
What's that?
$1,800 or whatever.
I've probably got room in one of them, or so I can look at them and see just what the cost would be also with the shipping. That's just the cost of it. But I could do
You're
more.
gonna need it this year, though.
It's not an action.
No, it's just like,
They should come back with the final cost.
yeah, I can do that by next.
Are you really gonna need it this year though, or can they put it in next year's budget?
Right.
Yeah.
Want to take it up.
Yeah.
We'll put it in next year. You can get it
Yeah,
next fall.
yeah. Like I
Scott, what
said,
about putting some really heavy duty rugs as you come in, those, mats that, I think Blue Linen used to come to the bank and bring some, and I mean, you can get a lot of sand off on those.
Mm-hmm.
So just put them inside the doors so that, people can wipe their feet before they head in.
Yeah. Look at something that we get with one of the services that can change them out regularly for us. Yeah.
We used to have that service. Thought we still did.
No, we don't really have anybody.
Take the dirty ones and put clean ones down.
They're just like this vacuum is what they do with them every night.
We used to have that. Got changed, huh?
That's kind of one thing that I don't know. I kind of look at the cost. I don't know. I'd almost like to, when we bid janitorial, is to have a full service where they just provide everything. I don't know if we save that much providing all of the cleaners and stuff. Kind of like to look at what it costs just to have them come in and just take care of it. We ain't got to worry about, they call me up on Sunday, we're out of black trash bags, the cleaners, I don't know if they get a better price because they buy a larger quantity of it than us buying it ourselves, shopping around and trying to provide stuff for them or not.
So I'm assuming the way to look at that is what we're paying for
Yeah. Mhm.
supplies.
Yep.
Plus the cleaning contract, how much more are we looking at a month?
Yeah.
I do remember quite a few years back that we had a company that did provide their own cleaners. But the employees didn't like the smell, especially in the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of complaints about they were flowery, too perfumey,
Yeah.
and kind of made people sick. And so that's when we decided to start using our own
Yeah.
scented stuff.
That was the automatic air fresheners. I went back and put some in this year, but they're more a citrus one is what we went to, instead of having, cans sitting on the back of the toilets and stuff. So far, I haven't heard any issues with the smells in there and stuff, but I just I kind of like to look at that too for next year's when we bid the janitorial. So.
Well, and we might be in a situation, and I don't know yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I know we're doing 5 days a week now,
Mm-hmm.
that we could go back to 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Next year with the virus, if the virus is gone,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to be quite so sanitary, so.
Yeah.
We need to start thinking about that may be coming in the future, go back to 3 days a week or
Yeah.
4 days a week or whatever we end up.
Yeah.
For it.
Maybe bathrooms every day, but there's certain things that should be done every day on public building.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll be in charge of the contract next time,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I
can
think
check
it's great, you're looking,
Mhm.
figuring out a way we can do this
Yeah.
cheaper, faster.
Yeah. And we're
I was just gonna ask you one more quick question about like the sand and gravel and all that. Was you were talking about maybe needing like a shed roof
Mhm.
that you put sand in and stuff, and
Mhm.
would any of the recycling center structures be appropriate for that, or are those too large for the space you need?
I'm sure, we could scale one down or use the materials off it and then just modify them to what we need and stuff. Cause, it does have to be, kept covered so that the rain and snow doesn't freeze it up and lock it all up and wash the ice melt out of it and stuff. So like I said, we can either get, keep it tarped and, or something.
Are you guys covering the skid steer that you bought, or?
It goes in the, right behind Rose Advocates, there's the shop up there where we keep all our lawn and garden equipment, mowers and stuff, and it fits in there. We just back it in there is what we do. We can plug it in there and stuff, so we're doing with it. So,
You can fight with Jeff over the shelters.
yeah,
We got shelter on the call, we told the city we would take that down, that one has to come down.
yeah.
And I don't know, Don, I'm assuming they probably don't want it either.
Mhm.
And Cascade is already told us they want to build pickleball courts where this one is here.
That one.
I don't know if those are really an option.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff already claimed those structures, though, that's what I was just saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Other things we're working on, we're making a detective's room out of the break room in the sheriff's department over there. So we're putting some cabinets up, and we have found up in the search and rescue, we found, I believe, enough desks for that right now. And then we I guess we're going to prep this room back here, the blue room, for Larry. We got to get it painted, and we have to come up with another desk for him because we've got 4 and they're going to take 3 over there because he wants 2 desks and 2 chairs and stuff set up in there.
Is there a desk in the first room?
There's tables,
Just a table?
Table stuff.
and they are about as wobbly as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Got to position the legs just
Yeah.
right to keep them up. So.
On the detectives room, are we also looking at replacing the floor?
That's another thing you need. Basically, their whole floor needs done. I mean, you go in this back door because the in and out into the first door on the left. There's kind of another bigger room. Them carpets are just thrashed. I mean, they're wore out. I mean, there's been so much stuff tracked in over the years and stuff. The whole sheriff's department's floors are just in bad shape and stuff.
My recommendation would be the company that did the mold room, that floor, that carpet,
Mm-hmm.
have them come up and give you a bid on this.
Okay.
For the glue down squares.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I've got a call back to Stream Epoxies about epoxying pulling up the vinyl in the locker room that's all curled up and bubbled, and just epoxying that, and then we don't ever have to worry about it again, basically, for our lifetime and stuff. So
I think you're gonna have to set some priorities and just make
Yeah.
yourself a list as
Yeah.
you walk through it.
'Cause there's a whole
Anything over
there's a whole
25,000 has to go through the CPI.
what's that?
Anything over 25,000 needs to go through the new capital improvement plan.
Okay. So yeah, because we've got the back parking lot, the asphalt there, the asphalt on the west side of the sheriff's department along there where you come out of there where they go off the parking lot and where they transfer prisoners and stuff. That's just it's all rotted, decayed. It's coming up. We need to do something with the front out here, this concrete. If we want to do something with the old entrance, because it's unsafe even as an emergency exit. It's a big trip hazard and everything else. And so there's a lot of projects.
Did you find out if we need 2 exits here?
I'll have to call. I'll talk to. I'll get a hold of this Chief Hall over here and ask him just what the requirement is, since both those hallways dead end there. If just one is adequate enough, I will.
Scott, I would also keep in the back of your mind that we filed to vacate this alleyway out here.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Same process with the city now. I haven't heard when that hearing's gonna be, but
Mhm.
eventually that might come into our ownership, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I know the security committee's looking at a motorized gate on each end.
Yeah, we're kind of discussing things too, because that's one thing is just if we gate it out here, then it's gonna have to come across and tie into the sheriff and into the court, because it doesn't do any good to have someone just walk around the end of it and start shooting at somebody. So then we're gonna probably look at maybe having a badge activated gate, for employees coming across and stuff. And also with that being public and employees, if we need to stripe it in such a way that we have, like on the east end of it is public parking for people coming to do business here at the courthouse. And then west is employee parking or something. So people coming here, kind of have a place to park that's closer to the crosswalk and stuff, so we're not, all the employees aren't lying clear across the front, clear to the road, and stuff.
We need to be cognizant though, in the winter time, I won't park on that end. That ice that builds up on that end is a mess.
Well, that's another thing. We've got our road out here, or the city's road, basically from in front of the EOC doors, and you'll see the little orange stickers out there. That road from that leak this year is gone. I mean, it's fallen off. I'm surprised the sinkhole hasn't arisen. It's getting to the point that it could possibly block off our roll-up doors, to our emergency equipment in there. So I don't know. I just heard through the grapevine that the city's found documentation. It's the school's responsibility to get this repaired out here. I don't know who we talk to, who do we work with? I mean, do we even get involved? But it's impacting going down the alley, getting into our parking lot, and possibly the doors on the roll-up, where their equipment's stored.
Well, I can help you look into that one as far as if the city's gonna fix it. The other thing I remember about 2 years ago, I think, they were talking about a grant to put a sidewalk on the north side
Mm-hmm.
around to the front. The
Mm-hmm.
city was gonna do all that under some kind of a grant that they had,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know where we are on that either.
Yeah. But this is, I mean, if you guys get a chance, go out there and look at that road.
So I
We've
just
got-
walked across it this
Yeah, we
morning.
got all the little orange stakes because they hit that this year with the skid steer into the snow, about threw him out of it. And then as you get back up to the corner where the alleyway and the corner of the building, I mean, there's just huge drop. I don't know, I ran across it this morning in my truck. I'm going, I don't think I should be driving on this, but I don't know how we kind of get people going on taking care of it.
Well, we gotta wait for the snow to go for it to stop freezing.
Yeah, but,
Well, Jeff knows who to work with because he was working with the city engineer last year on it.
mhm,
So Jeff's he's got the contacts on who to work with. But
okay.
I just think we need to be cognizant of where we're striping. So if we're putting all of the public
Mhm.
where that pond is and it's
Mhm.
frozen over, I think that could be an issue.
Yeah.
I think we need to look at reconfiguring that whole thing
Mhm.
over there with that extra lot.
Mhm.
Even though there's snow storage there, what are we gonna do long term? We need more parking.
Well, I know there was discussion at one time of pulling the sidewalk out here in front of making it angle parking.
Mhm.
And so we could get more cars along the front, but
Mhm.
I don't know if that's our thing or if that's
Yeah.
a city thing. But
Well, I'm kind of wondering if we're going to have the pond down there, if we get rid of the runoff from the school, causing this issue. And I guess it's been an issue for 3, 4 years or something. I guess it used to come out up in front of the doors in the EOC, that cover there, but this year it moved down to that valve box in the alleyway.
It seems like it's changed in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, last year and this year especially, it was
Mhm.
really bad.
It's really undermined bad out there. I mean, it needs something.
they were supposed to take a drain pipe clear through, pass the railroad behind Ansley and dump it into the drain over there.
Mhm.
I don't know, Cindy, do you know, does that ever happen?
I don't know. I know they cross the road. I don't know who you're talking to.
Well, go ahead.
Didn't know you were there.
That's okay, I wasn't on the city council when they did that.
I wonder if we don't need a sidewalk or curb gutter anyway on the other side, just to keep the water out of that parking area.
Mhm.
I mean, if we were to build up our own
I think what
sidewalk
we
or
need to
curb
do is
gutter.
fix the drainage from there to wherever they're gonna dump it. Do you know anything about it?
I just know that it started 3 or 4 years ago. And before then, we didn't have issues with the ponding or anything over here. And I have not heard from anybody, I don't know if Carl has, that they found something that says it's the school's responsibility. So I really don't know. I call them every year and I call the city every year and say something and. All right, thank you. They look at me.
Carl, do you know any more about it?
I remember them taking it across the road. I don't know how far they took it down, but they did go down by grandma's. But I'm pretty sure it was a drain pipe, not the storage sewer. But,
Big black.
yeah, big black
Mhm,
pipe.
yeah.
What's happening is it's gotta be freezing down there somewhere because it's got a belly or something.
Something, yeah, it's
That's
froze
causing
up
the
and
back.
it's acting
It
up
needs to
here.
be cambered, if it is in there. That'd be the cheapest thing, and then you just repair the bad spot.
But it seemed to start as soon as they started running water. I don't know if it even had time to freeze.
Well, it's
Yeah.
part of the school hydroponic system.
Yeah, it's their geothermal wastewater is what it is. Because they diverted it for a little while to another drain and it kind of slowed down, but the ground was so saturated, it was kind of hard to get a fair evaluation of it at the
The
time.
mayor told me that they've written a grant to try and do hydrothermal in the sidewalks, and then they're gonna redo the sidewalks. So that might be why they're waiting on a sidewalk here. They're gonna try and put that hot water in the sidewalk so they don't have to maintain the sidewalk.
No.
That'd be nice. Geothermal,
I'll
yeah.
give the mayor a call, see if we can find out anything. Maybe somebody can contact the school. See if they know anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we gotta get moving on that here pretty quick.
Yeah, because it's the road's not really, like I say, if there's a big hole under there, a sinkhole falls out or something.
I don't know, do we want to engage in that conversation? It really isn't our conversation, and boy, I'd sure hate to have to spend money from the county. if it's
No,
not
I don't think
our-
we should have to spend any county money on it. I think we need to push the people
Yeah,
that are in charge.
get something going on it.
Otherwise it gets dropped again for
Mhm.
another year.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Other than that, we lost the scale up the transfer station for a day last week. We lost one of the load cells up there and stuff. So the girls are pretty good. They kind of know weights and stuff on the trucks. So we just kind of did an estimation for everybody. But we got the load cell repaired, and then they're ordering another one that we'll keep because it's Total Scale doesn't keep this particular load cell in stock. So we had one already. We're going to replace that. So,
Was it ice?
what?
Damage?
No, it's just, he said it was original equipment and it just basically wore out is what it did. We had some ice issues. We've gone up twice with the pressure washer and cleared those up and stuff. We had 2 issues with it, but this was just, it wore out.
Water tear.
Yep, and stuff, so.
The mayor is listening. I'm asking if she has any input for us.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, good.
that's about it for right now. You guys have any questions or anything?
I'm glad you're back. I'm glad
Yep.
everything went good.
Mhm.
Good to see you again.
So it's
Get
good.
us some costs on the sander and
Okay.
go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey Scott, I was gonna mention too, I was up at the recycling center on Friday or Saturday, and
Mhm.
we did get with Jeff probably pretty quick and talk about the road and,
They get pretty muddy in there.
it's getting.
Get that soupy,
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of, yeah, people don't like that on their cars and stuff. Okay, I'll do that.
And we've got a lot of nice material down at Smithsburg. Recycled pavement that we can haul some more of that up there.
Mm-hmm, okay,
It's really, there's a lot of it. And it's probably froze together right now, but as it warms up, we can use that.
so it's stuff they've cut back out or ground up off the road, okay.
Yeah, it's just next to Wellington, just to the north of
Mhm.
Wellington, across the creek.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay? Judy, I got your message. Next item is an action item decision on request for proposal for Valley County Surveyor. Send it to you.
Yeah.
And this is just the yearly RFP.
No, this is, we've been contracting with Fodray and they're splitting the sheet down there, and Chip's gonna have his own company. So I've been working with Brian Oakey, and he says we need to do another request for qualifications and get resubmittals and then re-enter into another contract. We couldn't just divert the contract we have with Chip.
So you need a motion from us to do that?
To approve this request for qualifications, and then we'll get it in the newspaper. And I don't know if I've put enough time on here. I said we need to receive it by March 25th for a decision on March 29th. So I might change a little bit of wording in here or, upon
I don't think that's
submittals.
enough time, 2 weeks.
I could put some words in here, received by March 29th if submittals received or something.
I would go with that route. That gives them about 3 weeks. About 3 weeks to get their RFP back in. I think that's only fair to everybody. I know the last time we did this, we only had one person that.
Scott, sorry, really quickly. The mayor would like to meet with you, so, from Cascade.
Okay.
So if you'll reach out to Judy and his stuff.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, I know the last time we did this, we only had
Two
two?
submittals.
Who's the other one?
Some guy out of Boise County.
Oh, that's right.
And we tried to get him to do some work on no business, and they're all really busy.
Okay, this is an action item, so how do you want to proceed?
Move that we go ahead and put out a request for proposal for a Valley County surveyor.
Who to say, any more discussion? And you want to shoot for the 29th of March?
Yes,
Who didn't-
I would like
Move
to.
to second, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, motion carries. All right, down to March 29th.
And the mayor said that they are working with the school and the TAP grant for the sidewalk should be awarded soon.
TAP.
It's a special grant for instructionals.
We've used TAP before, somewhere. Okay, you have 15 minutes until we have a North Fork watershed one. Did you have somebody needed from us?
Yeah, apparently I have to have you guys sign something to get on GAD. our information thing for dispatch. An agreement, not only do I have to sign, but you guys have to sign as commissioners for a remote access policy agreement.
Oh, through IT,
Yeah,
and you're in a hurry for it, because this is not on the agenda.
I know, it's just, because it's just 3 signatures from you allowing us to get on CAD system. Does it have to be on the agenda?
I think so.
Great.
How, are you in a hurry for it? I mean, you need it like right away?
Well, my IT guy just gave it to me and said we can't get CAD without it.
Okay, so then what I suggest we do.
I can wait till next week.
We can put it on next week's agenda.
Next week's agenda for an action item, we'll do it then. And I'll just leave it with Doug and then we'll have it.
Okay.
That's as soon as we can do it.
Has your fire commissioner signed it as well?
It just says my signature. Signed by authorized representative, so I signed it.
So is that your policy or was that provided? Because we've had,
This is provided by your IT.
okay.
Because it has the Valley County thing on there.
All of our employees have to sign this. So
Well-
it's just you.
Well, no, it's just so we can use, the department can use the system.
Great. We did it through McCall City Police.
We've done it for
Cascade
Call
Fire.
Fire, we've done it for Cascade Fire.
We're the last ones on CAD, so that's why we haven't done it yet.
I'll make sure to get it on next week's
Thank
agenda.
you very much, sir.
Okay.
That was all I had.
How's it going out there?
It's, going.
Carl, did you want to talk to
Busy
us
boy.
about something?
No, I'm just here to, I don't have anything to talk about, I don't think. We're in transition to doing different things. You'd probably be glad to know that Julie's no longer on. So we're getting a new treasurer all lined up, and she's already lined up, she's on it. Got some wrinkles to work out, so.
If you don't mind, I'd like for you to get on the agenda here when you got time. Come back in and kind of give us an update on all that, so we kind of know where you guys are.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a meeting with Sherry out today sometime, and then we'll set up that, and we can let the commissioners know what's going on. And
Great, Carl, appreciate that. It's been
yeah, we've
kind of a
had,
mixed up deal for a year or two, and we need to get straight.
yeah, I gotta agree with you.
Mr. Chairman, it might be beneficial to have the Valley County Fair Board present next Monday, because there is a request from the GO agency to utilize the Valley County Fairgrounds for an
Yeah,
off-road.
We could probably do
ATV.
next Monday. I'm pretty flexible right now at this time of the year.
Okay, what time next Monday, Doug?
I'll just move some stuff around. How about we do 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock will be fine.
So, when's your next meeting? What's the next work? Is
Uh,
that next Monday?
Next Tuesday, I think. Pretty sure. I think it is, so.
On a Tuesday? Yeah, you don't normally do them
Yeah,
on Tuesdays.
and I don't know, we got a problem with Zach and Zach and his brother is not gonna be able to make it there. I don't even know if they'll have a quorum.
Okay.
I'm getting really frustrated.
I bet.
It's tough. Last time it was our new secretary, Casey, and Dawn and I. I'm so ready to explode over this. You know, I know it's a voluntary position. So, but you volunteer to do something and you say you're going to do it, you need to follow through. I have some that haven't been there, and it's in our bylaws that you have to attend so many meetings that we could, I don't want to, because I don't know nobody replace them right now. Nobody's knocking the door down, so we
need
gotta
to
address
talk
that
about-
too. And I need the backing of the commissioners if it comes to doing some of that stuff.
Well, and I know in the old days, it was always parents.
Yeah.
Parents would step up and serve on the fair board. I was on it for 7 years.
Yeah,
And it's a tough job.
yeah,
There's a lot of people pulling you in every different direction all the time, but
yeah,
I think to make it more legitimate, maybe it should be a situation where we can write letters to some of these board members saying you haven't been participating. If you're not gonna be involved, please resign and we'll find somebody that can.
right.
So whatever we can do to help you out,
That'd be appreciated,
fill that board out.
so.
If
Yeah,
they're
it's-
appointed by us, then we should be able to remove
Yeah,
them too if
they
they're
are
not
appointed
participating.
by you guys, so.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, let's, hopefully,
Well, and I would get your guns lined up for next Monday. Bring all the folks in that you think you want to keep, and
okay,
we'll go from there.
All right, I'll try to get everybody,
Okay,
get our,
Carl, you need to meet Brian Oakey in Backview. He's our new assistant prosecuting attorney, and
Yeah.
Carl. And we're gonna be working on some joint contracts to make sure that the county's protected at those fairgrounds
Right.
when there's an event there. And making sure we've got the correct liability insurance and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, so.
yeah, we all need to protect it on that, so anything can happen.
okay,
And you
So
guys as board
that's,
members.
yeah, I had a day off, thought I'd come in and make my presence be known that I'm still alive and kicking and.
We appreciate that. You can come see us anytime.
So,
great.
anyhow, that's it, and then I needed to meet with Sherry, so I just wanted to let her know I was available today.
Okay,
So, other than that, my phone's been burning up, I probably better take care of some of that stuff, so.
Ron, did you have anything for us before we recess?
I didn't know.
Nope, okay. So then at this time, we're going to recess for a North Fork Pale Lake Watershed Summit that starts at 10. And we'll see everybody back here at 12:30. 12:30.